Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Mally Rosado, and I'm the Council President for the Court of Common Council for the City of Hartford. And I am calling to order this public comment meeting of Monday, December 13th, 2021 to order. And I'm going to introduce my council colleagues as I see them on the screen. I see joining us this evening is Councilman James Clark, Councilman Nick LeBron, Councilman John Gale, Councilman TJ Clark, Councilwoman Shirley Surgeon, Councilwoman Marilyn Rossetti, Councilman Josh Mixtum. Are you just saying hi, hello, Councilman Sanchez? You're on mute.
No, I'm James Sanchez.
Councilman James Sanchez. So now for some housekeeping rules. Each person wishing to address the Court of the Common Council or committee, therefore shall, upon recognition by the presiding officer, give his or her name, address, and if he or she represents a group, shall in addition state for the record the name and address of said group or organization, and shall limit his or her remarks to 3 minutes. All remarks should be addressed to the council as a body and not to any individual member of the council. Any person making personal, impertinent, or slanderous remarks or who become boisterous while addressing the council shall be forthwith barred by the presiding officer from further audience at said meeting unless permission to remain is granted by a two-thirds votes of the council members present and voting. During public comment, there shall be no debate by the council, although questions may be asked by a council persons making such presentation. For members of the community, please be advised that this meeting is being broadcasted and recorded by Hartford Public Access Television and can be viewed via Hartford Public Access TV Facebook page, Comcast Xfinity Channel 96, www.hpa-tv.org, or channel 6032 for Frontier customers. Spanish interpretation is provided through a partnership with the City of Hartford and the Hartford Public Library. Additional accommodations can be made available with enough notice if you put in a request through the office of the council president. And with that said, and this is not common practice, but Councilman John Gale has asked for a point of privilege before we start our public comment section. Therefore, I am granting this point of privilege, and Councilman Gale, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And good evening, everyone. Quickly, without getting into the details, I want to apologize to the City of Hartford in my zeal to provide a moral boost to our city employees. I acted without thinking, and I did something really stupid. I never want this city to look bad, and I fear that my conduct may have done so. And so I apologize for that. I'm truly sorry. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman Gale, duly noted. With that said, I am going now to our speaking order. And first on our list tonight is Josh Stanley. Josh, you have the floor. Please start the meeting by stating your name, address, and if you represent an organization, state that also, please. Thank you.
My name is Joshua Stanley. I live at 105 Linden Street in New Haven, Connecticut. And I represent Unite Here 217 as the Secretary Treasurer of the local. And our Hartford office address is 140 Woodland Avenue, Hartford. Woodland Street, sorry, Woodland Street. So I know you have a resolution and term sheet from Mayor Bronan before you about amending the lease for the Hartford Hilton and permitting the Waterford Group and Randy Salvatore's RMS companies to convert half the hotel into condos. If you allow this to go forward, it will result in more than half of our members who work at the hotel losing their jobs. I want to tell you something about these jobs and our members who work at the hotel. These are good union jobs with benefits and security. Right now, there are almost 100 jobs at the Hartford Hilton, and another 30 of our members are on recall lists waiting for their jobs to come back as business returns. 57 of these workers live in Hartford. 24 of the Hartford residents have bought houses with these jobs. Over 50% of these Hartford residents are Latino and Latina, and over 40% are Black. Last year, when the Waterford Group announced their intention to sell the Hilton, the Hartford City Council took the time and care to include a term sheet that guaranteed that the workers would be protected. We are asking the council to stand with the workers once again. Please don't break the promise you made last year. The Lamont administration is trying to rush through the bonds for public funding that will allow these workers to be fired. Please don't make the same mistake that the governor is making, and please take the time to find a solution that works for both the city and for the workers. I have one of our members here with me, Miguel Melander, if he can speak at this time, or if you'd like him to go later on the queue. Miguel.
He can speak.
Great.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Miguel Melander. I firstly want to thank every single council personnel for their time. And first off, I just want to share a story of how I started off at the Hartford Hilton. This was about 4 years ago.
Mr. Melendez, could you tell us your address for the record, please?
My living address?
Yes.
15 Julia Street, Hartford, Connecticut, 06114.
Thank you.
I started off as a bellman, to be in fact, at the Hartford Hilton about 4 years ago. And even as a bellman, and the opportunities, the community, the family overall, and even the pay, just to be frank and honest, was well enough for me to continue doing my associate's degree at Capital Community College. It has truly helped me a lot. I even have managed to build up and was able to go to the front desk later on. And obviously the pay has been essential and has really helped me a lot. Obviously, because of the circumstances, I understand the business is business. But however, let's try to be frank, and this is just a personal opinion, I could be wrong in this. The city needs the hotel. We do, as a front desk, I work there 5 days a week. We do see it that we get a lot of demands, usually due to the concerts, due to the games next doors, and they're really high in demand. Changing the hotel to just condos will really put a lot of issues to the city, because then again, there won't be a lot of people who will use our hotels or come to the events because there's nowhere to stay at. So I want to thank every single councilman for their time. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak here. And I just want to let you know that the opportunity here at the Hartford Hilton has truly helped me become a better person, and has truly helped me a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Melendez.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stanley. Next to speak is Kim Davis.
Yes, hi everyone. My name is Kimberly Davis. I live at 87 Grant Street in Hartford. I've lived in Hartford my whole life. I've been in this particular address for over 30 years. And I've worked at the hotel since I was 16 years old, over 30 years. And I've seen the hotel go through many different changes and things of that nature, but we always had the security of knowing that we were going to have a job there. The city has always, helped us and maintained that the place was to remain a hotel. It's part of the XL Center. There's a lot of things going on, like Miguel was talking about. People, like that destination. And we have worked hard all these years to make the company, to make Waterford a multi-million-dollar corporation. And all we're asking is that you take the time to take another look at this and make sure that something can be done for us so that we can have some kind of protection. We need our jobs. I'm not ready to retire yet. I still have a few more years. As long as I'm healthy, as long as I'm able to, I want to continue working. We have all our benefits. I've already lost my health insurance. A lot of other people have lost their health insurance. We need our jobs. We need to continue working. So that's all we're asking, is we're asking just to take a pause, take a step back, take a look at things and see what you can do for us and see if you can help us out in any way. Like I said before, I've been in the city my whole life. I'm 63 years old now. I want to continue working and I want to keep my job. And I want to stop the people who we made millionaires from taking our jobs away from us and to continue our lifestyle the way we've been living. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kim Davis. Next to speak is Stan Mccauley. Mr. Stan Mccauley.
There we go. All right. My name is Stan Mccauley. I live at 77 Wadsworth Street here in the greatest city on earth, Hartford, Connecticut, New England's rising star. First, I want to thank everybody for their service to the city. It's a thankless job and you probably don't get a lot of thanks from people, but for what it's worth, I really appreciate your service. I'm here today to speak in favor of the upcoming resolution that's been introduced by Councilman Clark in terms of economic development and job development in the north end of Hartford. It seems to me, and it's just a personal opinion, that there is a just short of conscious decision to make sure that North Hartford does not thrive or prosper. I think that this is a very, very good resolution to put forth a noted effort to change that. I have been in several public meetings where there have been comments made from city staffers that would give one pause as to whether or not there's a real commitment to move an agenda forward for Hartford's North End, particularly down North Main Street and other business areas, Blue Hills areas, things along that line. And so while we appreciate the good counsel of learned staff, they do give good counsel. The legislative body of our city are you, who are elected officials. And I think that we really need to see a concerted effort put forward that brings this resolution into reality, and from the resolution, something that actually goes into being. There's several areas that are listed in the resolution. I won't read through the resolution or anything like that, but the third whereas is very significant, as well as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th whereas in terms of economic development and job opportunities. This is something that is sorely needed in the North End, and I really, really press upon my citywide elected voices to duly consider this opportunity to support the North End. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. McCauley. Next to speak is Yolanda Rivera. Yolanda Rivera, you're on mute. If you could unmute yourself and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Yolanda Rivera. I live in 15 Store Street, Hartford, Connecticut. Thank you everyone to being here. I've been at the Hilton for 23 years. With this job, allow me to buy my house, to raise my children, and I love my job. I work at in housekeeping, and we all are family. And I would like, to keep it that way, like the hotel open, so we can still be together and work like we always do. We are hard workers. And with this job, I will be able to retire from this job. We, the housekeeper, $20 an hour, which is a good pay. And with that, I do a lot in my life. I would like to keep it that way. We need our jobs. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Sanchez?
Yes, if I may, through you, Madam Chair, Yolanda, thank you for your testimony. I have a question. So how long have you been working at the Hilton?
23 years.
23 years. And in 23 years, when you started, is it safe to say that you received several raises and it capped out at $20 an hour?
Yes.
And if you don't mind, you don't have to answer this next question. How long have you been at the $20? 5 years, 3 years, 10 years?
No, this was our last raise.
And it was a while back?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not that long.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Yolanda,
You're welcome.
for your comments. Next to speak is Mr. Timothy Goodwin. Mr. Goodwin, if you could unmute yourself. Good evening.
There we go. I was working on that. Thank you.
It's okay.
All right. So Timothy Goodwin, I'm here at 50 Love Lane at Community First School. I live on 282 Vine Street, over on the corner of Vine and Edgewood. We're in our second year here at the school. We have 18 students. Started last year during the pandemic, and I'm just very happy to be serving the community. We deeply value our place. We love it here in Northeast. We're community centered, relationship based. We believe deeply in the capacity of our families, tight relationships with them all. And I'm here to speak on behalf of the resolution by Councilman Clark. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. We would very much love to be part of any decisions, ideas with our families, with our community around the buildings in Northeast neighborhood, especially the Waverly building. We've been talking a little bit about it. We know that there's some abatement, supposedly some other barriers or inhibitors, but none that are too large to overcome. We've also been building a coalition of folks here in North Hartford around the North Hartford Ascend Pipeline Grant, which, for all intents and purposes is a nice piece of nice planning, but it didn't really include the community. And that's, I think, what our parents and our families are kind of frustrated with, that oftentimes there's money that's supposedly to come into the community, but it doesn't ever really make it down to that base level, that grassroots level. And there's a lot of frustration there. And, we've got partners that would love to have a say in these buildings. I love the fact that in the resolution, it talks about entrepreneurs, residents, business people having a say. And we'd really like to be part of that if possible. When we look at the North Hartford Ascend Pipeline Grant, which is $30 million, there's only really one true community partner, and that's the Women's League. The rest are Hartford agencies, but not really with a true understanding of what's on the ground here in Northeast or Upper Albany or Clay Arsenal. And, we have folks like Build a Better You Family Services, Urban Hope Refuge Church, Freedom School, Ebony Horsewomen, Act Up Theater that have all said, Supreme Athlete, Ms. Kim and the Gifted Ones, Harper City Mission, Savannah Jones Dance Company, For Unity CT with Tim Freylon, the Urban League, Blue Hills, Vicky will speak in a minute, Hartford Communities of Care, Ghazi Do Karate, Crossroads Community Cathedral, Community Solutions, people who want to be involved in sort of what would be a Hartford children's zone, Five Corners, up to Tower Ave, over to Barber Street, like really helping to take what's here, the greatness that's here, and build it up. And would just love to have the opportunity to be part of that. So I'm casting a vision right now for what we would love as a community to see. If we have more time, we probably have 14 out of 18 parents here to speak to it. And would love to have the opportunity maybe down the road as the resolution moves forward to bring some more people into a meeting like this. But I think the energy within the community that could be seen if given the opportunity to really have a say would be amazing, because they're so used to not having a real say. To have a say and to actually be in on the groundwork, the ground floor of building up something like some of the buildings here, including Waverly School, I think would be amazing. And to have all those partners come together to somehow raise funds and work with the city to gain funds to get that building up as a community hub, I think you would see amazing change in this part of the city if you were willing to move that direction as a city. So that's really all I have to share. Thank you for the opportunity. And thank you, Councilman Clark, for putting that resolution together. It was really well done, and we really appreciate you. That's all I have.
Thank
You're
you, Mr. Goodwin. Next to speak is Vicki Gallen Clark.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. You have the floor.
Okay, great. I had the opportunity to attend the DECD economic.
Excuse me, Ms. Gallen,
Yes.
Clark, could you please state your name and address for the record, please?
Absolutely. Vicki Gallen Clark. I live at 105 Granby Street here in Hartford. I had the opportunity to attend DECD's Economic Development Summit on December 2nd and had the pleasure of hearing directly from Alessandra Castillo, who is a U.S., well, actually, she's a United States Assistant Secretary of Commerce. And I just want to share 6 talking points that she shared with us. She emphasized that we need to look at communities in a holistic way. She said traditionally, it's usually just a couple people making decisions about the community. She also said that we need to demystify all the money that's coming into the state. A lot of people are saying, well, what's going to happen with this fund? What's going to happen with this pot of money? A lot of residents just don't know what's going on. She said to determine how we access the resources and deploy them to the community, especially the community that's demarginalized. And so when I look at North Hartford, and I see that the North Hartford Promise Zone is in North Hartford, where the average salary is less than $13,000 per year, that community really should get priority when it comes to economic development. The last thing that she emphasized, she said, make sure that everyone is at the table. She said, bring in your colleges and universities, bring in your nonprofits, bring in your residents, and bring in the philanthropists so that everyone is having a dialogue regarding the community. When you look at the history of North Hartford and you see what happened after the riots and how the lack of investment actually stopped, it came to a halt, you would actually agree that North Hartford is in need of major economic development. We do appreciate the current several projects that are on the table, but we think that we have a unique opportunity to have a massive explosion in a positive sense regarding economic development in North Hartford. And so we're asking the City Council to take the lead as it relates to the city in pursuing the various funding that's going to be coming into the state from the federal government so that North Hartford actually becomes a thriving economic hub, significantly decreasing the wealth gap, and also increasing training and educational opportunities and jobs, and not just jobs, but jobs with career paths that pay sustainable wages. And so I thank you for listening. I thank you for what you're going to do on behalf of the residents of North Hartford. And I am a resident here in North Hartford. So I'm speaking for quite a few people. So thank you so much.
You're on mute, Mally.
Hi, we just,
Hi, I want to just call back Mr. Timothy Goodwin. I believe you wanted to share something with us.
we were very lucky. We have a play that we're doing, and some of the students came back in the building. And our play director, also our morning teacher, Mr. Ron, is here. Sierra, where do we play every day for recess? Do you remember? Waverly Park. We all just wanted to say hi, and that they've never been on a city council meeting. Be respectful. And they just wanted to say what's up. And we told them what we're looking to do. We're trying to grow our school, and they're excited about it. So they just wanted to say hi. So
Hello.
this is your Hartford City Council right here. They help make decisions for the city. Nice. So, yeah.
Hello. Thank you for being on the screen with us. You guys be safe, okay?
All right. Zori, Zayden, Sierra. And
Hi, Sierra.
all right. Have a great day, everybody.
Okay, thank you. Timothy Goodwin. Bye-bye. Next to speak on our list is Bridget Prince. Miss Bridget Prince, are you with us on the screen? Okay, we'll come back to Miss Bridget Prince. Is Dr. S.J. Hello? David, do we have Miss Bridget Prince?
We currently have a couple of cell phone users on. I don't know who they are, so I've given them all permission to speak, just hoping that one of them might be Bridget, and they're not.
Okay, we will come back to Miss Bridget Prince. Do we have Dr. S.J. Gahazi?
We do.
Okay, if you can bring him on the screen, please. Dr. Gahazi, you have the floor if you could unmute yourself. And for the record, state your name and address.
You have a Chihan J. Ghazi. I live at 16 Arnold Street in Hartford. And I'm with the Build Better Youth Family Services and Gazito Martial Art Academy. And I just heard some of my children just left with Tim Goodwin next door to us. Again, we had 60 Love Lane. And I'd like to comment on, follow up on the resolution for the excuse me, project at Wavy School. And my organization been in this neighborhood now back in the neighborhood for a year and a half, on our second year, 2 years. And again, we collaborate with Tim Goodwin with his school next door and several other agencies in the community. We're in the Swift building. So I just feel it's a great opportunity for an agency like ours to participate and use the room in the Waverly School, because it's in the neighborhood. And this is where the kids that come to our program live. And unfortunately, they've been shipped out of the neighborhood when they lost to school. But I would like to see them back in the school, in the community, in the school that some of them attended and know quite well in their neighborhood. So I think it would be a great idea. I would love to see this happen for the kids and for the family in this community. We definitely feel that the kids will definitely find a good use of it, and it would be a pleasure to have them back in the school, in the community. So I don't want to echo too much what Tim Goodman spoke about. But I do want to let that be known that I'm supportive of this resolution. Thank you very much.
Next to speak is Leslie Hammond.
Hi, this is Leslie Hammond, 1 Linden Place. I presume you all can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So first of all, I wanted to say thank you to the Hilton workers for speaking. That is just so powerful to hear stories of the workers, and I hope that the city and the mayor will slow things down a bit and make sure these workers keep their jobs. So thank you so much for being here. Also to Mr. Goodman and all they're doing at the Community First School is just so impressive and really great to hear about. So I so appreciate when the public comes forward and speaks to council. I'm still hoping that we get the civilian crisis, the crisis team with the police, the social workers and the counselors that we're hoping to get. I hope that keeps moving along. I did see Assistant Chief Howell the other day, and he said that all of a sudden he's being asked to come to meetings and there's more meetings. So I don't know if that was the result of the Hartford Current article or what, but I was really glad to hear that because it has been 1.5 years since the mayor first announced it as a result of the defund the police movement. So I know things move slowly with the government, but 1.5 years seems like a lot of time to me. So I hope that can happen quickly because I think it's really important. I'm glad that internal audit is looking into the money that was spent for the PPP money or the, all the COVID supplies and everything. And I was pretty surprised when I saw the checks made out to Star Hardware for thousands of dollars. And I hope that internal audit gets to the bottom of it because, the city employees and the schools and all of you were working from home last year. So I'm not sure where all these supplies went and why people needed masks and so forth on the city's expense if everybody was working at home. So I'm really confused about that. And hopefully when you see the amount of money that was spent, particularly to just 1 or 2 vendors, you would be concerned too. So I'm hoping to hear that report soon. The airport task force, I'm not sure what that's about. And as you know, I come to a lot of meetings, so I'm a little confused. I do know that there's a concerted effort by certain people because of their own agenda to shut the airport down. But we never hear about what the airport does do for the city and what it could do for the city. I've never heard any analysis about that, including the other companies around there. I know, of course, about Mira. We have gotten information about that, but we never hear anything about what the plus is for the airport. And as you know, it will cost us a lot of money to shut it down, but I know that there's some strong, powerful people that are determined to do that. So I do hope you have a task force with people that are really going to get to the bottom of it and really tell us, what jobs are there, what jobs could be there, because this administration has never made any effort to make the airport, an economic engine that it could be. So thank you for your time, and I hope everybody's well. Since we went back virtual, I was wondering if somebody had COVID or something, but I hope everybody's okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie Hammond. Next to speak is Naisha Mccauley.
Hello, council persons. It is a pleasure to be with you this evening. Thank you for the opportunity. Naisha Mccauley, 77 Wadsworth Street. I'm speaking in support and lending my voice to the resolution 44. I believe it's the number introduced by Councilman Clark, but I believe also Councilman Nick LeBron, Councilwoman Marilyn Rossetti, Councilman James Sanchez, I believe, were also signers onto this resolution. So I'm speaking in support of it and wanted to really echo some of the things that previous speakers had said. I also serve in the capacity of chair of the board of Community First School. And you had an opportunity to hear from Tim Goodwin about some of the things that we're doing through Community First School, which is situated in Northeast Hartford, and it's there on purpose. We intentionally wanted to provide an opportunity for families and children where there is currently a gap. But what I also want to lift up, what this resolution is doing to me when I read it, is putting equity in action, making equity visible, because we oftentimes lately, in particular, particularly in the pandemic and with the murder of George Floyd, we have heard this word lifted up countless times. But what I believe what this resolution is doing is making that word equity visible, right? So when we talk about equity, what does that do? What does that mean? We share power. We have agency. We have voice. We have opportunity. And this resolution is making that demonstrable for all of us to see. What does that really look like when we as a community have equality and equal voice in the decision-making of how our communities look? So I applaud the council for taking a look at this. And it is going to take courage, right? Because this is also, I would say, rather innovative when it comes to like what is possible when a community really says it believes in equity. What does that really look like? And Hartford could really demonstrate that by putting forth this resolution and acting on it. You can be the trailblazers when it comes to communities who not only are not just giving lip service to this, to what it means to be equitable. So I thank you for this resolution. And really, if there are moments in this is a hard job, and there are moments when you may feel discouraged, please lean to your community because we are here and behind you in wanting an equitable community. Tim mentioned so many organizations in his commentary that often go unheard and unnoticed. And it's usually the United Ways, the Leadership Greater Hartfords, the larger entities in the city of Hartford that get seats at the table. The voices that Tim brought to this meeting are those you actually never hear from at all. And so we are asking for a seat and a voice, and that is equity. And so I applaud you. And if it gets lonely and hard, know that you have a community supporting this resolution. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Naisha Mccauley, for your comments. That concludes our public comment section for this evening. Anyone who was not able to join us this evening, please feel free to send an email to the Office of the Council President or any council member. You could always go to hartford.gov under City Council, and our email addresses are available through there. So with that said, thank you everyone who joined us this evening, and we will see you shortly for a regular schedule council meeting at 7 p.m. Thank you and have a good night. Thanks to everyone.